Hello, welcome, and my name is Tom Janae. I am a medium psychic, and this is Future Sun Tarot. My purpose here is to guide and empower others. And so in this video, you have the opportunity to check in for your upcoming week's energy. And though this is for January 12th through January 18th, this video is also timeless. So if it comes across your feed any other time, you can still watch it and get valuable insights, okay? And remedies. For this week's energy, for the weekly forecast, I want you guys to be aware of what is to come, what you guys should focus on, and, just so that you guys can have the most productive and efficient week, and also that you're protected from any obstacles or energies that are at play. So there's a few things that I want to address that I will ask Spirit through the cards in this reading. Additionally, remember these readings are for a collective energy. So take what resonates with you and don't make other things fit if they don't. Pretty simple. Let's get right into it. Here are the guidelines that I'm going to ask Spirit, or here are the questions that I will ask Spirit. We're going to get the week's energy. We're also going to get the most important information. What should you focus on this week? What are the obstacles that you may have to overcome? And then like ancestor messages at the end, a little freestyle, okay? So let's get right into it. We're just going to pull one overall card for the week's energy. For this week's overall energy, the card pulled is the Emperor. It's number 4 in the major arcana. And this card is a beautiful and powerful card. It talks about your inner sovereignty, your power, your ability to, master the elements. The Emperor is the kings of every suit. He's the king of cups. He's the king of wands. He's the king of swords. I was going to say spades. So you may like spades. And he's also the king of pentacles. So this emperor has mastered all the elements and has accumulated a lot, and now he is governing and protecting and watching over all the things that he's worked hard for and he has maintained. So this week's energy is about that. It's about what do you need to do to put your affairs in order, or making sure that you understand all of the things that you have available to you. This Emperor card this week could also ask you to assess your resources. Are you using everything that you have at your disposal? The Emperor card a lot for me comes out as protection. So this week is also an energy of being highly protected, or maybe you will have tunnel vision. Also, you may be seen in a new light in this upcoming week. Potentially, you are implementing new business ideas, a new business venture, or maybe having a discussion, some sort of a opportunity or a proposal or pitch to someone, and you may have very positive results. But this overall energy wants you to know who you are and wants you to be a little bit more meticulous with your approach. This energy is asking you to be impeccable with your word, impeccable with what you provide and what you also extend out to others. This week's energy is also about balance. It's finding ways where you can come together as a community, or come together your younger self, or could we also talk about your inner child coming together with you, or you picking up resources from your past to help you in your current reality as well. But this also can say having stronger dynamics with your loved ones, your coworkers, or just finding ways to connect with individuals a little bit more. Moving on to the next question. What's most important? This week, it's most important to know you may be really busy, or you may get a lot of calls. These could be spam calls, but you may get a lot of calls. You may also get calls from individuals of the past as well, or some sort of temptation that you may need to fight. Going back to the Emperor card as well, being the overall energy for the week, you may be tempted this week. You may be tempted. You may be having a lot of tests to see if you really are the Emperor. Will you sit on your throne? Will you stay in your power, or will you revert back because of some external circumstance or trigger? So potentially you will be facing triggers of your past chapters, past people, things, or substances that may have caught you up in this tight bind or bound that was really hard for you to separate yourself from. This week is most important to know as well. There may be a lot of conflict. There may be issues with communication. This is a great week for you to practice more efficient communication. Be very clear. If you believe you replied to someone, double check, especially if it's about a timely manner. This is definitely the week to make sure you are protecting yourself from yourself as well. In which ways have you, let the ball fall, and making sure that you don't do that in this upcoming week. So you will be tested in this week. And the test feels as though, will you keep moving forward or will you revert back? Will you keep the honor or the throne, the crown, the title, the position, the, self-esteem, or will you allow something to take your place, take your seat? So there will be challenges here. And so this mindset could be requiring you to potentially practice more affirmations this week, finding some sort of phrase that grounds you. I'm safe, or I'm in control, I'm in my power, I reclaim all my power back to me. This could also tell, this energy is also speaking of you potentially staying indoors a little bit more, or being around individuals that don't trigger you so that you can get this work done. So if you are under or embarking on this journey where you have a lot of work to accomplish, and this week you have due dates or deadlines, this is definitely the week that you stay in and you buckle down. And it may be a little frustrating week, especially asking for, like, there will be a lot required of you in this upcoming week. Individuals may ask you for more, for you to do more, and this feels, of course, with work. So you may have more things put on your plate. Once again, it's like, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Make sure you are getting paid for all this additional work that you're doing here too, okay? Another important thing for you to know about this upcoming week is that there may be a lot of conflict. I stated that before, but it's important for you to have strong conflict resolution skills this week, and to focus really more about healing the conflict as opposed to, wanting to be right. Listen to understand this week as opposed to listen to respond, to reply. This week there's a very distinctive energy that wants to trip you up, wants to, and not in a negative or in a scary way, but it wants to, it's testing you. And this test is so clear and it's very evident. Yeah, there could be small misunderstandings, such as frustrations with traffic, or you going to somewhere to submit a document, and you may, like, if you have some business to do and the clerk is a little rude, things like that. This energy is asking you to maintain your throne. If someone is acting off with you or being rude to you, you don't have to be rude. You can respond in a positive way. You don't have to stoop to that level. So this week is challenging you to stay on your throne. Stay on the throne. Don't let someone or any place, any of this energy take you out your spot. What should you focus on this week? This is a great week for you to focus on the things that may seem difficult, the tasks that are really hard for you to accomplish, or you may need to, tackle them step by step. This is definitely the week to focus on things that you need to beautify, that you need to clean up, you need to spice up, the things that you want to present, right? This is the week to focus on how you communicate, how you present things. This is the week to focus on your image, your brand, your branding, your voice, your tone, how you communicate. This is definitely the week to focus on inner reflection. How do I show up to the world? How is the world responding to me? Am I showing the world confidence, or am I showing the world that I'm insecure? This is the week that you are potentially recording yourself saying the pitch that you want to say to whoever you're going to in the business meeting. This is the week where you record yourself doing your runway walk if you're a model, and you critique it. This is the week where you show your resume to someone and you ask for feedback, or this is the week where you show your writing to someone and ask for a peer edit. This week is also challenging you to focus on the identity behind each term, the identity behind your goals. And this energy could ask you to be more comfortable or to see yourself in those roles. So if you want to, you have these goals, you want to, for example, uh, get, for example, maybe you want to be part of a European like league, right? And that's something that you really want. So this is the week where you get comfortable with that. Okay, what are the steps that I have to do to be part of this European football league or basketball league. What, where am I? The steps are here. This is what I need to do. I need to, take care of these documents or make sure that my stats are up to par. This is also the week to say, okay, what are the qualities of that person? How would I feel? Who is the person that has this, contract with the European League? Who is this person? How will I act? How would I respond? And also challenge what you think it is. Actually, kind of humble that a little bit more, because I do believe just this is also a week to challenge the viewpoint, or okay, this is another week to challenge why you want something. So if you want something, challenge or write a list down of the reasons why you want certain goals and see which ones or how many options on that list is based on the external world, based on other people's opinions, based on what you want to show and showcase to others. This is a week to say, okay, what are my true needs and desires? What do I want for myself that the world can't give me? What can I do for myself that's not performative? How can I give to myself and fulfill myself on the soul level and make sure that it's not depending on the external world or the external gaze or based on other people's goals and objectives. What do I want? This emperor card, this authority card is saying, what do you want? Who are you? You get to control it. This card is also saying, what do I need to unpack? What do I need to let go of? What things do, that I learned that are not mine? This is also a week where you should focus on the home matters. We picked up a little bit of the conflict. So this is the week where you focus on having healthy conversations with your family, finding ways to balance conflict with your loved ones, especially if you're in the same household with them. This is the week to do something new in the household, potentially clean it, fresh it up. This is the week to maybe add new decorations or let go of the decorations from the past season and holidays. This is the week where you have that conversation, when you offer the olive branch, where you extend and you say your wrongs. Being the emperor is also saying, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. I am aware of all of me. That's how you become the emperor. You don't become the emperor just saying, these are my strengths and I'm boastful about them and I'm not paying attention to what's wrong here. No, you become the emperor because you are this well-rounded person. And so, especially with the family dynamic, make sure you are checking what you believe needs to be in those roles. Maybe you believe a father has to be rude. Maybe you believe that that's the case, and it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe you were raised in a household where things had to be this certain way, and you believe that, and now you are an adult, a grown person, and you are following because so and so told you this when you were 5. So this energy is saying, what do I hold on to that's not true? And especially if it's causing more conflict. I've been doing this way my whole life, and it has been what? Has it been good to you? Has it been keeping you in the cold? Has it been cutting? Has it been making you cut relationships off? Has it caused more conflict? If you've been doing something for so long, is it valuable to you? This is the week where you check yourself, honestly, check yourself. In order to be the emperor, you have to check yourself. You have to look in the mirror and say, oh, that was not okay. You have to be comfortable with having those uncomfortable conversations with yourself. And you have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable, but also vulnerable with the world as well. You have to be on the emperor is on the forefront. The emperor is in the front. He's seated, he's seen. And so maybe this week is also asking you to focus on, like I said, how you are viewed. If this is the week to potentially you may want to get a reading on how do others view you? How successful is your business? How is your marketing campaign going? This is the week where you use tarot or you use spirituality, you use psychic abilities to really tap into the most important like marketing details or the image details. This is like finding ways to be innovative in your life, right? And so they're giving me the option or the example of you being innovative with using tarot to your advantage. And honestly, I've had great tarot readings where people have asked me, a lot of times people get tarot readings just general love, career, etc. But I've had individuals do actual research and ask me specific questions about that research so that they can be more efficient. Like which person on this list is the one I should look into, and then I tell them and it actually, of course, is the one that they should look into and they're able to be more efficient in their work. This is the week where you do so, where you're like, okay, how can I make my life easier? And how do I make my life harder? Especially what do I hold on to? What's the baggage there? And what's the baggage that I'm unaware of? Okay. Okay. Next, let's get into the challenges of this week. What are the challenges? Show me what I need to see. Challenges this week are based on forgiveness. This could be self-forgiveness. This could also be forgiving others, or asking, seeking forgiveness, forgiving yourself first, and then being able to seek forgiveness. This energy here is also a big challenge, a big obstacle here this week will be about your response. Once again, as I said earlier, there's a lot of conflict around this week. And so you are being tested on if you will revert, or you back to this old person, or if you will just not react in the best possible way or hold a grudge. So an obstacle this week is something not going your way, and you may want to yell, or say something offensive, or do something that will affect someone, even if you feel like, oh, this is something that will not offend, or, just not being responsible with others' emotions. So this week, the biggest obstacle is being responsible towards others' emotions. Have a little bit more empathy, slow down a little bit. The biggest challenge for you is to slow down. The biggest obstacle is slowing down and also changing your perspective. This week's challenge is for you to be more. And it makes sense that this energy, the overall energy for the week, is the Emperor card, because the obstacle for you is the feminine energy, is the receptive, is the receiving, is the creativity. Everything that they want you to focus on this week, that spirit wants you to focus on this week, it's all about the feminine energy. So this week is about balancing the feminine. So receiving messages, receiving downloads, receiving new advice, receiving new things, creating, nurturing yourself, nurturing your relationships, nurturing your titles, right? This energy is about being honest, being straightforward, being vulnerable. The obstacle this week, a big obstacle this week is your spiritual team wants you to close out a chapter. And so the biggest obstacle is that you do so, that you close the chapter out and that you don't go back into the past. And this chapter, of course, is going to look different for everyone. So the biggest obstacle is reflection. You will know it. Once again, if you need a personal reading, book a personal reading. But the biggest obstacles feel similar to this example. You started a habit and it's day 20, and someone comes over, or you get invited, right, to dinner or to a restaurant, and your habit was on healthy eating, where you only eat plant-based and you're not consuming any alcohol, and you get invited somewhere and you want to go, and you go. This is the test, this is the obstacle. Will I drink? Will I consume, fatty or meaty substances, right? And especially, it's really important, and a larger obstacle if you've decided to withhold and stop, drinking or doing different things, if you've made habits because of adverse reactions to what you do under consumption of certain things, right? So for example, if you drink and you become really aggressive, right? And so you're like, I'm not going to drink because I know that. This is the week where the obstacle for you is to say, okay, is right there in my face. Like someone could be actually trying to give you a glass, and you have to say, actually, no, I will stand here. I will do this because this is a goal that I've been working on for some time. And I finally want to tackle it and finally want to, you know, overcome my own obstacle. So this is the biggest obstacle is yourself, your discipline, and your inner authority. So we're going to close out with an ancestor message for the week. Your ancestors want you to know this week to not compare yourself to others, that that's a form of cruelty, to appreciate what you have, and to be firm and stern once again in your authority. If your ancestors want you to know, comparing yourself to others is like saying that your throne, your realm, what you have acquired is not worth it, right? And so it's almost disrespectful spiritually, especially with all the help that your spiritual team has done and put in place so that you can have what you have. So it's really important this week. Your ancestors want you to know to not compare, because it will get you caught in your head. And it may be one of those tests where it wants you to revert, or once you get caught into that comparison, you want to revert backwards. Like you've been working so hard on this project, and your colleague shows you theirs, and you are so blown away because you believe it's so much better than yours. It's so more informative or expansive, or it's prettier, of whatever the case, is more organized. This energy may want you to not even, publish or not even move forward with the presentation, because you feel as though in comparison to so and so's, yours doesn't matter. Your ancestors want you to know to move forward this week. Do not compare. Once again, we said earlier, maybe this is the week where you isolate yourself a little bit more. You stay in the house, you know your triggers this week, and you avoid those triggers if you don't know how to handle the triggers. Your ancestors want you to know that being calm, being slow, being steady is maturity. That is a part of control. You don't always have to react right away. You don't always have to move really fast or um, compare yourself towards a standard that is not yours. And this goes back to the energy where spirit is saying, what is this role? Right? You know, your ancestors want you to know that there is maturity in slowing down and addressing who you are and what are you representing. Your ancestors also want you to know this week to pay attention to what you are fighting against. Pay attention to the things that you believe you can't afford to change perspectives on. Pay attention to the things that you feel as though are non negotiables, and why is that? Your ancestors really don't want you holding on to some outdated tradition or outdated viewpoint or way of being that is nonsense, you know? So, this is the time where you reclaim your inner authority. You become the true emperor, right? We even have the lovers at the bottom, where you become the true emperor, the true creator of your life, and you audit what's going on and who you are, the good and the bad. You say, these are these habits, this is who I am, these are my non-negotiables, and how many of these are learned from my parents, how many of these are learned from society, how many of these are actually mine, how many of these are based on the external world and how people view me or what I'm supposed to do. Your ancestors want you to know more than anything, fight hard for you. Choosing you means choosing the real you, not the you that has been watered down with society's pressures and norms, not the you that's believed that you have to be a man in this way or be a woman in this way. Your ancestors want you to create the you that's been there all along. And it is a slow and steady journey, right? And it's not going to happen miraculously overnight in this upcoming week, but this week is important because there are small steps here that you may want to neglect, you may want to not do, or there's habits that you may want to do again that will take you off of your path. So you're fighting to be the creator of your own life this week. And the whole theme this week is about being the creator, being the source, being the emperor, being the authority. And being the inner authority is challenging yourself, having those tough conversations, being uncomfortable saying I was wrong, being comfortable addressing those painful sensations, maybe traumatic events, or being comfortable, you know, asking for forgiveness. Being comfortable, being vulnerable, saying maybe, you know, if the example resonated with you where your colleague work, you may believe your colleague's work is better than yours. This is a week where you get comfortable saying, damn, yours is really better than mine, but you know what, I put all that I had in here, and I really do like your idea, but I'm going to release mine too. This is the week where you humble yourself, you address yourself, and you know what it is to be true authority, to be true regality, right? If we even want to put it in, you know, like a storyline. If you are, we can even put it as a Game of Thrones. If you are the king of an empire, right? You want to know what's going on. You want to know the good and the bad. And this empire is you. It's your internal landscape. It's your past. It's your histories. It's the baggage you hold on to. It's the roles that you believe you have to follow or be. And so this is saying, hey, you know, maybe there's an imposter in my kingdom. Maybe there's someone here who does not deserve to be here, and so now I need to call out everyone and round up all of my, all of my citizens and see what's going on here and actually address and look at the collective, and, you know, figure out what's going on and figure out how to heal it. So this week may seem a little difficult, but I think it's going to move really smoothly for you. Once again, the biggest thing is little conflict on communication. Pay attention to it. Let things just roll off you. Don't let things stick to you this week. So it may be important for you to meditate, say your affirmations, ground yourself, do 12D shielding, get your Merkaba star. This is the great week for you to have your protection work done, have your protection oil, wearing your protection jewelry, having the altar lit. This is the week where you go to the altar a little bit more. This is definitely the week where you protect yourself, and you stay within your own bubble. And once again, you don't always have to feel as though you have to run away from your triggers, right? I'm not trying to advise that, but this is just one week, right? So until you're able to start, addressing and processing, understanding your traumas more, for this week is more about protection and having clear boundaries up. So that's all I have for y'all. I hope you appreciated this week's energy reading. I hope it added value and insight so that you can be prepared and have a very successful, productive, efficient, and beautiful flowing week. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Have a good one.